Students, at this time, would our students reading the Pledge of Allegiance, our Sign Language Club, and our 7th and 8th grade choir come down to the front? Please rise.
Colors, halt. Left, face. 3, 6, arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Post the colors. Right, face. Forward, march.
Thank you, choir, and thank you, Sign Language Club. You guys can be seated. Everyone else as well. Miller, principal at Columbia Middle School. It is an honor to stand before you today as we gather to commemorate Veterans Day, a day dedicated to those who have served in our armed forces and sacrificed so much for the freedom we hold dear. First, I want to extend a special welcome to the veterans in the room. Thank you for being here today. Your courage, dedication, and selflessness are the reason we can stand here today in peace and safety. We owe you an incredible debt of gratitude, and while today is a day to honor you, I want you to know that we are deeply grateful for your service every single day of the year. To our students, Monday is more than just a day off from school. It's a day to reflect, learn, and truly understand the significance of our freedoms we enjoy and the price at which they come. As young people growing up in a country of opportunity and liberty, it's important to remember that those rights and freedoms were earned by the brave men and women in uniform, people like the veterans with us today. Veterans Day is not just about remembering soldiers who fought in wars, though we certainly honor their sacrifice. It's about acknowledging that freedom does not come easily. Every veteran in this room made a choice. They chose to serve, to defend our country, and to protect the values we hold dear, values like liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness. Some fought on distant shores, some served during times of peace, but all of them made the same pledge to put their country before themselves. If you are a veteran and you served during any of the following conflicts, I ask that you please stand so that we can honor you for your service. If you served in World War II, please stand. If you served in the Korean War, please stand. If you served in Vietnam War, please stand. If you served in the Gulf War, please stand. If you served in the wars in Iraq or Afghanistan, please stand. Thank you. If you are currently serving in the war against ISIS or have served during peacetime, please stand for that as well. Thank you. As we honor the veterans here today, I encourage each of you to think about what it means to serve, not just in military, but in your own life. Serving your community, standing up for what is right, helping others when they need it most, these are all ways we can honor the spirit of sacrifice. President John F. Kennedy once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." While we may not all be called to serve in the military, we are all called to serve in our own ways. Whether it's in our homes, schools, or communities, we can all make a positive difference, just as our veterans have done for our nation. I know many of you may not have personal experience with military service, but let's take a moment to think about the sacrifices our veterans have made for us. These are men and women who have missed birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays with their families. They have endured difficult, sometimes dangerous conditions far from home. They faced challenges that many of us can't even imagine. And yet they did it all because they believed in something bigger than themselves. So today I ask all of you to reflect on the meaning of service and sacrifice. Thank you to our veterans for all that you have done. Thank you for the freedoms we sometimes take for granted. And thank you for the example you set, for showing us that true strength is not just about physical courage, but also about the bravery to stand up for what is right, even when it's difficult. And I say that to students all the time. You have to do what's right, even when it's difficult. To our veterans, we honor you, we respect you, and we are deeply grateful for your service. You have shaped the world we live in, and your legacy will live on in the future generations you've inspired. And to our students and staff, let's remember that freedom is a gift, and it is our responsibility to protect it, not just on Veterans Day. Take a moment to thank a veteran, listen to their stories while you still can, learn from them, and most importantly, live with the same dedication to service and community that they have shown for us. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call 6 students up to tell us the history of Veterans Day. Emily, Evan, Carrie, Ellen, that group, come on up. 5th graders or 8th graders? Sorry, there are 10 students, not 6.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily Rapini and today I'm here to talk about the significance of Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a special day to honor and remember all the men and women who have served in the U.S. military. It's not just a holiday for those who fought in wars, but for all veterans, past and present. Let's learn a bit more about how this important day came to be.
Hi, I'm Evan Hitzman. Veterans Day has its origins in the end of World War I. On November 11, 1918, the fighting stopped when an armistice or ceasefire was signed between the Allies and Germany. This moment is known as the Armistice Day. Originally, Armistice Day was a day to honor those who fought and died in World War I, but over time, the day evolved to honor all U.S. veterans from all wars. Hello, I'm Kara Casey. In 1954, after World War II and the Korean War, the U.S. Congress changed the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day to honor all U.S. military veterans, not just those who served in World War I. President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the change into law, and since then, on November 11th, has been a day to honor the service and sacrifice of all U.S. military veterans.
Hi, I'm Ellen Turner. Today, Veterans Day, is a federal holiday observed each year on November 11th. It's a day to remember and thank veterans for their service. It's important to note that while Memorial Day honors those who died in service, Veterans Day honors all veterans, living or deceased, who served in the U.S. military.
Hello, I'm Lanning Schlomer. November 11th was chosen as Veterans Day because it marks the end of World War I. The war ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. This is why the day is so significant. It marks the moment when the world hoped for peace and a new beginning after years of devastating conflict.
Hi, I'm Autumn Moody. Every year on Veterans Day, many cities across the United States host parades and ceremonies to honor veterans. The biggest and most well-known parade takes place in New York City, but smaller towns and cities also hold events. These parades feature veterans marching, military bands playing, and other commemorations. It's a way for communities to come together and show respect for those who served.
Hello, I'm Ella Hitzman. One of the most important events for Veterans Day happens at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. Here there is a national ceremony where the President of the United States plants a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. This ceremony is a reminder of the sacrifice and dedication to all U.S. veterans, and it is broadcast to people around the country.
Hi, I'm Damon Schulman. Veterans Day is a time for all of us to reflect on the sacrifices made by veterans. You can honor veterans by thanking them for their service, participating in local ceremonies, and learning more about their experiences. Remember, veterans don't just serve in wartime. They protect our country during peace too. Even small gestures of respect can go a long way.
Hello, I'm Stella Zopis. For many veterans, Veterans Day is a deeply emotional time. It gives them the chance to be recognized for their service and feel appreciated by their communities. For some, it's also a time to remember friends and comrades who made the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans Day reminds them that their service, whether in combat or in peacetime, is valued by the nation.
Hi, I'm Piper Meaner. I want to say thank you to all the veterans here with us today and those who couldn't be here. Your sacrifices and dedication protect our freedoms every day. Veterans Day is our chance to show our gratitude, not just today, but every day. Let's all take a moment to remember and thank those who served, and remember that freedom is something we must continue to protect together.
Today we are honored to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Stacy R. Rostel to our Veterans Day ceremony. Lieutenant Colonel Rostel serves as the commander of the 239th Combat Communications Squadron at Jefferson Barracks Air National Guard Station in Missouri. With an impressive career spanning nearly 3 decades, Lieutenant Colonel Rostel has led teams around the world in delivering essential communications and cyber operations, playing a pivotal role in both global missions and state emergency responses. Since enlisting in the Air Force in 1995, Lieutenant Colonel Rostel's career has taken him from electronic warfare assignments in South Korea to leadership roles in Colorado and now to Missouri, where he commands a squadron of over 100 combat-ready cyber warriors. His career reflects dedication, courage, and commitment to safeguarding our nation and supporting his fellow citizens in times of crisis. Lieutenant Colonel Rostel is joined today by his wife Jenny and one of their sons, Simon, a student here at CMS. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Stacy R. Rostel.
Good morning, Eagles. Hope you've enjoyed your breakfast over there. What a fantastic way to start your day, isn't it? A chance to break bread, not only with your classmates in the CMS family, but with the veterans in and around our community for whom our nation honors. Students, I'm looking at you now. I need to ask a favor. I need you to straighten up and listen, so our special guests can see you at your very best. For I'm about to talk about those who on several occasions had to give their very best. Deal? Deal. Thank you, Principal Miller, for the warm welcome and invitation to do this ceremony. To the teachers, educators, and staff here at CMS, thank you. I vividly remember my middle school years, when adolescents are changing the most. It's a crucial juncture that often determines one's direction. And you volunteer to share in the responsibility to ensure these Eagles soar to higher heights. And we hope they make good choices along the way. I didn't always make good choices, and I can tell you I was no saint back then. Do I have some stories that I will not tell you today? I wasn't always a troublemaker. I can't imagine how much my teachers had to give to ensure my better tomorrow. The long hours it must have taken to grade my poorly diagrammed sentences, to the coach who spent one-on-one time to help me through a better spiral, or the band teacher who encouraged me to perform a trumpet solo at an all-city concert. Math club, student council, myriad other extracurricular activities, you name it. And that was just selfish me. Throw in the other 250 students with their trials, their tribulations, home lives, and hormones. I wonder if middle school educators ever catch a break. Do not think the impact you have on this community goes unnoticed. I am witness to the result of your determination. Every afternoon, I receive my son Simon off that bus. His smile says it all. And his continued growth knows no bounds thanks to you. Simon and I, we both say thank you. I titled the speech Name Called. Oh, wait a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here. To the veterans who are here and those that are available online through digital means, our nation thanks you. Thank you for joining us today. I titled this speech Name Callers, as I feel there is never a bad time to address the impact of name calling. Maybe it was this past election that inspired these words. Perhaps it was during my middle school years, at lunchtime or in the gymnasium or on the football field. I can recall a lot of colorful language and many choice words, sometimes used to harm and hurt others. Many of those words didn't feel good when I heard them. And when I used them, look, I said I wasn't a saint. When I used them, I can assume others didn't feel so great either. Now, looking at you students, I have a question for you. Is name calling a good thing or a bad thing? See, I set you up there. My prompt, my question, led many of you to answer a bad thing, as is often the case. But when you have experienced the bad side of name calling, you know its impact. When we, your teachers, your parents, your grandparents, tell you that you shouldn't call people names, we were saying you shouldn't resort to speaking negatively of others, or to tease, or to mock, or to joke. It's bad manners. It's unbecoming of a CMS Eagle. And there's no good time or reason to express yourself in that way. So I'm privy to the impact of being called names, as I've been called all sorts of things throughout my lifetime. Everything from A to Z to some very interesting and expressive emojis. I'll refrain from listing them all for you this morning, but of all the things I've been called, there are a few that stick with me for life, a lifetime impact. Stacy, for example, my first name and the name my parents gave me. Rostel, my surname or last name, the one I share with Simon, a name that endured maybe 3 centuries of existence in the old world and a 2-week boat ride to a then deeply wounded America a few years after the Civil War. Father, a title for which I proudly claim, thanks to Simon and his many siblings. Husband, simply because my wife, Ginny, is here today, and it's in my best interest to honor her for supporting me in my vocation. Veteran. Ah, yes, the purpose of our gathering here this morning. Veteran is something I am occasionally called, and that will stick with me for life. It is honorable to be called this. Many, many people are called this. Many adults in this very room are called veteran. But you might call them mom, or dad, or grandpa, or brother, or aunt, or neighbor, or teacher, or doctor, or pastor. Does this come as a shock to you? It might. There's a good chance you know a veteran and not know they are one. And if they are a veteran, there's a 100% chance they were called soldier, or marine, or sailor, or airman, or Coast Guardsman, or guardian. We have a Space Force now. And there's a 100% chance they raise their right hand to swear an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, we don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of what all of that means. Veterans know what that means. They knew their charge. This charge to support and defend is not lost on them. Depending on what branch of the military they served, they were likely addressed by a rank or title. Look, more things to be called, like sergeant, or lieutenant, or private first class, or captain, or commander. See, not all names and titles that we were called are meant to harm, or shame, or hurt. Some names are meant to empower. Some names are a sign of respect. It can be positive. So I tell you what, take 10 seconds to say something positive to a classmate nearby. Let them know that they're a friend, and you have their back, for example. Go on, I'll wait. All right, that's 10 seconds. We'll stop it right about here. Do I need to bring Principal Miller up? All right, let's get back to this. Let me tell you, that is a very good feeling to a veteran, knowing somebody has their back. I guarantee you veterans were put in a position during their service to have their battle buddies or their wingmen's back. I have confidence those veterans might have your back today. Those terms, battle buddy and wingman, are positive and empowering. It means you are part of a team. It means you're a part of a team, kind of like you CMS Eagles. Now, many veterans are no longer don the camouflage of today's military, as you see with my uniform. They have long put away their uniforms and adopted the camouflage of everyday life as a member of this community, for which they continue to serve, for which, again, you might know them by another name. Being called veteran is honorable, but sometimes veterans keep humble about their service. That is, they might not talk about it at all, and that's okay. That title earned came with sacrifice, and there are times when that sacrifice needs no fanfare, no need to show off. Maybe some unspoken reflection is all that is needed. And sometimes a veteran's commitment ended so abruptly, we have another holiday to memorialize that kind of sacrifice in the month of May. I'm not here today to compare or measure a veteran's sacrifice. We don't need to, because we can plainly see the result. Their sacrifice ensured our independence, it afforded us liberty, and their sacrifice was exchanged for our freedom. I'll leave you with this. Veterans have given a gift that is immeasurable. Their courage, dedication, and sacrifices pave the way for freedoms we enjoy today. Today, we honor them with words, but wouldn't it be better, CMS Eagles, to honor them with our actions? As you go back to your classrooms, remember the importance of respect, kindness, and unity. Strive to be the best versions of yourselves, just as our veterans have shown us through their service. Whether it's through small acts of kindness, standing up for what's right, or simply saying something positive. Thank you for your attention. I bet you make your teachers proud, because I know you make these veterans proud. Thank you. God bless our veterans, and God bless the USA.
Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to invite a few of our 7th and 8th grade students down to share some of their thoughts. Brooke, Ellie, Kane, Macy, and Kaden.
Hello, I'm Brooke Randall. On Veterans Day, we honor soldiers who protect our nation. We thank them for their service and the price they chose to pay. Each day we live in freedom, and our memory must not fade. The reason for this freedom comes from sacrifices made. Some of them were drafted, some are volunteers. For some it was just yesterday, for some it's been many years. So we celebrate our veterans on the 11th of November. We thank them for their courage and pledge to always remember.
Hi, I'm Ellie Sproul. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered a service call. Soldiers, young and old, fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others have died, and all of them deserve our pride. We are proud of all soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought through many days and nights, and though we may not know each name, we think all veterans just the same.
Hi, I'm Kane Moscott. Dear veterans, no one fully knows the sacrifices you have made, but I know while serving you worked hard every day. You fought for our country day and night to give America freedom of rights. When I wake up in the morning and give my room a stare, I understand you are the reason I'm still there. You brought freedom to my country along with hope. For that, we can never repay you with these simple words I wrote. Thank you for your service.
Hi, I'm Macy Heinlein. Dear veteran, my words cannot express the gratitude our country has for you. The sacrifices you have made to fight for people you've never met will not go unnoticed. Leaving your family, friends, and loved ones is something only a select few of us can imagine. Sometimes we can all forget when we are eating potato chips on the couch that there are people constantly fighting for our rights and freedoms every day. So, on this Veterans Day, take pride in what you have done for our country. As often as we forget or take it for granted, your sacrifices will never be forgotten. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Caden Ringbolt. Dear veteran, you're willing to sacrifice your life for America. I appreciate that so much. I'm sure you had fun times, bad times, and great times. But it was in those bad times that you fought through and made our country better and safer. Even though you are still not overseas, you fight through lasting pain that is still in your body, mentally and physically. Every day you were overseas fighting for your life, the world kept going on in America. So you had to relearn how to be a normal person and not always be on edge when you came back home. I have no idea how hard it would be to leave everything you know, friends, family, and things you loved to live a completely different life. I appreciate what you did and what you still do so much. I struggle to even put it into words. Thank you, Caden Ringbolt.
Thank you, students. Great job. At this time, I'd like to invite a few sixth graders down to read a few quotes from former presidents on what they have said about Veterans Day. Cole, Brooks, Hannah, Lily, Ellie, and James.
Harry S. Truman once said, "Our debt to the heroic men and valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude." Ronald Reagan said, "Some people live an entire lifetime and wonder if they have ever made a difference in the world. But Marines don't have that problem."
John F. Kennedy once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them."
Barack Obama once said, "Our nation owes a debt to its fallen heroes that we can never fully repay, but we can honor their sacrifice, and we must."
Abraham Lincoln once said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure."
George W. Bush once said, "Throughout the course of American history, courageous men and women have taken up to arms to secure, defend, and maintain these core principles upon which our nation's freedoms depend."
Thank you, students. At this time, Mr. Janey is going to announce the branches, and we are going to play the video. And when your branch is announced, please rise, veterans.
United States Army. I'm Mrs. M, Assistant Principal here at CMS. We'd like to thank our staff and students who worked extremely hard to make this wonderful celebration today. We would like to express a special thank you to the CMS Choir, Sign Language Club, Columbia High School Junior ROTC, and our guest speaker, Lieutenant Rostel. If you did not, yes. If you did not get a chance to get your picture taken, please do so before you go. We will need all cars to leave the parking lot after the ceremony as we use it for lunch recess. And if you rode the shuttle bus over, it'll be waiting in the back area to take you back to your cars. However, we need you to leave your students with us. I know. Veterans, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for serving our country. You are true heroes. At this time, we're going to have students head to class.